It is a very special day in Tombstone, Arizona, here at the American Legion Post 24 in Tombstone. As Todd takes a gander around here, you are tuning into a very special episode of Jeff Davenport Live, brought to you by the Ed Morse Automotive Group. Sierra Vista and Cochise County is now backed by Morse. What are we doing here today? There's a very special presentation. For those of you who are Arizona natives, you have heard most likely the story of the USS Arizona. The USS Arizona is in Pearl Harbor. It is interned there forever and will always remain there. If you've never been to that area, if you ever go to Hawaii and you're ever on the main, Oahu, it is one of the greatest memorials that you could ever visit. I'm getting goosebumps right now. I ended up visiting this. I'll introduce these guys just a second. I ended up visiting the USS Arizona in late October, which basically was all right around the same time. You know the sun was coming up at that spot. The water was calm that day as the Japanese attacked the Americans, and right there in Pearl Harbor. And that is where the USS Arizona is still laid to rest to this day. But did you know there is a new USS Arizona that is coming? And that's why we're here today. This is absolutely fantastic. Go ahead and introduce yourself to everybody.
My name is Chris Balsley. I'm the chairman of the USS Arizona Bell Foundation for the American Legion of the state of Arizona. For SSN 803, which is the new submarine that they're building that will carry the USS Arizona name on into our history.
Which is absolutely incredible. Go ahead and introduce yourself too.
Sure. So Gerard Jahari Brinkman, I'm the District 3 Commander for the American Legion here that services all of Cochise County. And like Boz said, the USS Arizona that we know of in Pearl Harbor was the third to bear that name, Arizona, and it will stay there interred in perpetuity. This will be the fourth ship to be named after our great state, the 48th state in the Union.
Now, how did you go about setting this up to bring them in here to show this to all the folks here in Tombstone today?
So that's where Boz comes in, right? So beautiful story. Boz hears about people turning flag grommets that you cut out of retired flags and including it in the smelting process to make bells. And they're originally using it for ceremonial bells around Legion posts in, what was it, Iowa, Idaho?
Idaho.
Idaho, right? So Boz came up with a great idea, and when he heard about the USS Arizona coming out, he said, we want a piece of Arizona in there. And Boz happened to know some people in the mining industry. So the bell is going to be forged, right, and smelted and go through a foundry here in Arizona, completely made out of flag grommets that were cut out of retired flags in Arizona, as well as copper that was mined here in Arizona, as well as close as Bisbee.
That's correct. Yeah, so basically FMI, Freeport-McMoRan has donated the copper from the ground of Arizona. They have a plant here that they've guaranteed us is only Arizona copper. So when we get the grommets and the copper put together and with some tin, we can make this bell 100% from the family of Arizona. And that's our goal at the end of the day, is to get this bell onto the SSN 803 and be the first bell that is ever on a ship from us, the American Legion of Arizona.
From the American Legion of Arizona on the brand new USS Arizona. Now, USS Arizona is going to be a submarine.
Correct.
So, will it have a port station where it will be where it will stay for?
So right now it's being built in New Groton, Connecticut.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what its home station will be yet.
Or how many seamen will it hold, or men will it hold?
So the skipper of the boat will probably be able to answer that best.
The skipper's here.
The skipper's here.
Yeah.
We have the crew from the USS Arizona here.
Chief of the boat.
Skipper's here. Chief of the boat. They have their head reactor guy here. They have their Seller of the Year here with them.
That's right.
And they came here to Arizona and they chose Tombstone. They asked They asked them where they wanted to go this time, and they said, we want to go to Tombstone.
Oh my goodness.
So, and I don't know if you see there, you can probably get on your camera, we have a 3D printed model of what the bell will look like.
Of what the bell will look like. Let's go take a look at it.
If
we can, if that's all right.
With the crew on
if that's okay, here, we can kind of sneak behind maybe. I don't know if sneaking behind would be easier, but the bell is right here. This is where the bell is, and oh my gosh.
Take away.
Right here. Sir, Jeff Davenport, so nice to meet
how you doing?
What is your name?
Dave Jackson.
Dave, nice to see you. And what is your purpose for being here today, or who do you represent?
So I'm the chief of the boat of the USS Arizona, and
otherwise known as the Cobb.
The Cobb, right? And my job is just to make sure the crew is getting ready, trained, and ready to be the crew of a warship underwater.
And where have you served before? Because there's a lot of people watching this are former military and have probably served in some of the same duty stations. Where has your journey taken you?
I started out on the John C. Stennis, which was an aircraft carrier. Then we went into dry dock in Bremerton, Washington. I saw a bunch of submarines, found them fairly interesting, so I joined the submarine force. From there I went to sub school and then onto the USS Springfield, SSN 761. Did a tour there for about 5.5 years, then went to sub school again to be an instructor in Groton, Connecticut. And then from there went to the Pittsburgh, SSN 720. Did 4 years there, took her to decom back to Washington, then went to sub school again, did another tour there, and followed up by the Cobb tour on the USS Virginia 774, which is the first Virginia-class submarine I served on. This is the second Virginia-class submarine with the mod of the extra 85 feet with the 4 extra missile tubes that we have. So this is quite an honor to end my career this way. I'll be getting out of the Navy in about a year, so this is the perfect way to end on such a high note, and an awesome submarine.
Is being able to start with this submarine. How many crew members will this submarine hold, or what's?
Should be about 135 to 140.
That's amazing.
So,
oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Everyone's excited to get her out to sea and see it fully built. We're only a reactor compartment right now, but by the end of next year we should be a full submarine.
Now let's clarify this again. So the USS Arizona, again, we all know, like Johari said, was the third, the one that we know of. It was the third USS Arizona that is currently in Pearl Harbor and staying right there. The fourth USS Arizona, which is an awesome distinction to have, obviously, that's what we love, will be a submarine, and it's currently being built right now, like you said, in Connecticut.
Yes. At Electric Boat in Groton, Connecticut.
Do they have an idea of when it will be completed? I mean, obviously, you said you're in your final year. Will it be
whole completion? Operational, not while I'm in the Navy.
Okay.
Whole completion should be sometime in 2026.
Okay.
Unfortunately, with a new the VPM that we have, the extra 85 feet. That new add-on adds a little bit more complexity because we have to incorporate those systems. That's not something they've done, so we're the first. It does create a delay sometimes, and they're moving through it very quickly. But we should be able to be hull complete, meaning a full submarine, in 2026, and then get her in the water in 2027 and complete the internals. You got to get all the systems together. Got to make sure everything is wired properly. This is a very complex system, very complex boat, and it's going to be a great boat.
Literally state-of-the-art and all the latest technology and the newest things to be used for this. 2026, that's only just a stone's throw from here, right?
It's, where we're at now compared to where we're supposed to be at the end of 2026, it feels unrealistic. But Electric Boat has done amazing things, and I've seen them do it boat after boat after boat, so I know they can do it. We've been to the manufacturing warehouses where they have just enormous warehouses where they're building multiple submarines at once in like large components, and then they ship them to Groton to weld them together and piece it all together, and it'll come together very fast once it starts.
As someone who is familiar with submarines and has spent a career in them, what is the significance of a bell like this, and why? And we've talked about why this bell will be significant, but what is the significance of a bell in a submarine?
A bell is for.
Is it like a horn? No.
Oh no, we wouldn't use it underwater because we don't make noise underwater. But a bell is for ceremonies. It's for ringing the captain on, dignitaries on, high-ranking officials, and it's something that the whole crew minds the bell, right? You never put your fingers on the bell because the oils from your hand will start to tarnish it, and then you'll have to polish it. So my rule was always, if you put your fingers on the bell, you're polishing it for an hour. So they respect the bell. They having one like this is abnormal. Right? They're usually not this fancy, this intricate. This is a beautiful description from everybody here in Arizona they've gone out of their way to get flags, grommets, and the copper from the state, and just the design itself is unique like no other bell I've seen, and I think this is going to be the envy of the fleet. it's awesome to see this, and so many people involved in the development, design, and casting of this bell.
Well, and again, and knowing that the components will be from our state, representing the future USS Arizona submarine. And what class is it again? A Virginia class?
It's a Virginia class.
But I think they're going to start naming it the Arizona class. Is what? No, I'm not.
Yeah, we've got a couple after it, and the Arizona is the first of several historical boats that we've had in the fleet. The Arizona, obviously the start of World War II, it's kind of the poster child for why we were in World War II, but then the Tang, the Wahoo, the Barb are going to follow us. Those were some of the deadliest boats that we've seen. So during that time, they did the most damage and really led. So having all those, it's kind of a nice round.
Amazing. Who's this gentleman standing next to you?
Commander Tom Deegan.
Commander Deegan, nice to meet you, sir. Jeff Davenport here live on Facebook with 40,000 followers watching us, learning a little bit about history, talking about the USS Arizona's legacy, and where it is hallowed ground, where it lays right now. It is. I've been there myself. I've seen it and taken that tour out there. And if anyone ever goes to Hawaii, you need to make sure you go to Oahu to take that tour. There's nothing like it. To you, what is the significance of that brand new name, or reestablishing the name USS? Can I move this table a little bit? I'd love to just screw so I can come a little bit closer. I'm sorry, leaning right in here. Yeah. The significance of that name USS Arizona, what does that mean to you and possibly for us from the state?
Well, it means a lot to me. I grew up in Hawaii when I was a kid. I remember the 50th anniversary of the back in 1991 for December 7th, and so it's been. I've been going to the Arizona Memorial my whole life. We went there as a command this past December 7th on the 83rd anniversary, and we do understand how it's such a important name and important just natural American monument in a way. It's how do you bring that back? How do you put that in a new warship? And the most important thing we want to do is get that right. And so, it's hugely important. Number one, we have a big job, testing and building the submarine kind of thing up in Connecticut. But the other mission we have that we take very seriously is honoring the heritage that is now our name. And so we've done a lot of things. One of the coolest things we did was 2 years ago on December 7th, we went to Arlington National Cemetery and laid a wreath at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier in honor of the unidentified servicemen and sailors that passed on December 7th, 1941. So there's about 88 sailors that are unidentified at Punch Bowl, the National Memorial for the Pacific on Oahu. And there was such a huge explosion. There are numerous sailors entombed on Arizona today. So we thought that was absolutely appropriate to lay a wreath in their honor at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier in Arlington National Cemetery. So that was really neat.
Thank you for doing that.
And then we've been to as many of the Battleship Arizona commemorative things as we can, and just here locally in Arizona, there's a ton. I mean, this is a great state to be named in. It's not just the heritage, but the state itself, wonderful, patriotic, awesome. We were able to go to the University of Arizona Museum, where they have for the Arizona battleship. We saw the original bell that they have there on the main quad, and then the memorial too. They have on the quad of the outline 2 scale. So there was that, and then in Phoenix at the Pima Indian Reservation has an original Arizona medal. They call it the Potato House. And so the light display they have. So we were able to go to that, and then honestly, we're very popular. Turns out for our command on December 7th. So we do about 4 events every December 7th around America. To honor our past and the sailors that came before us. So we want to do it right. We do know that it's not just, hey, we're the next one in over 83 years. We're the next one for the state of Arizona, but we're the next one, and it's the most important thing. The honor of my career personally is to be associated with that, to make sure we do it right. And the only people that can do it are the first people, our crew right now, and to get that done. And I think we're trying real hard to do it, and hopefully we do it right. So.
No, it's absolutely amazing. So what will the presentation here at the Tombstone American Legion, what will that entail for all the folks who are here getting their lunch, enjoying President's Day today?
We're just really happy to be able to engage with the great patriots of Arizona, really. And American Legion is one of the best places to go, and I don't know if you talked about the bell or not. But
Yeah,
I mean, just being involved with the bell and making sure, like, hey, giving the feedback, hey, it's got to come through the hatch, it's only got to be some size, that kind of stuff. American Legion's just been nothing but support ever since we grew as a command. We started the command 2 years ago. We've done multiple American Legion things around Arizona. It's the first time we're in Tombstone, and it's just special. It's special to be with the not just so like I said, they honor the ones that came before us, the 1177 that died that day, but it's honor just the veterans of America, the veterans of Arizona too. It's like, hey, you served and you did something important. You served your country. Let's hang out. Let's do that. They support us. We support them, kind of thing. So,
well, we'll never forget December 7th, 1941. It's one of those days that will live in infamy, as has been quoted so often. And it was when the USS Arizona was attacked, still lays to this day in Pearl Harbor. And again, if you've never seen that memorial, you need to go out there. If you ever find yourself in Hawaii, make sure you stop by Oahu in Pearl Harbor and see that. I know you guys got to get going with the presentation and stuff, so we'll let you go, but an absolute honor to meet you. Thank you so much, Commander. Thank you so much, Cobb.
Thank you.
Great to see you, Boz. Great to see you, Jahari, man. Thank you guys for talking us through. If you're just joining us, you need to make sure you rewind this thing and learn more about, I almost touched it. Then I'd have to polish it for an hour. I don't want to do that. So they're going to get lunch here at the Tombstone American Legion Post 24 here just off of Allen Street. You need to stop by and see these folks if you have the time today to learn more about this great history. And the new USS Arizona will be, I would say, docking somewhere, but like underwater somewhere. 2026 is what we're aiming for, right? Still, that's the aim. And again, learn more about the legacy of that. Learn and understand what it means. And you can always learn more from our good friends at the Tombstone American Legion Post 24 here in Tombstone. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Jeff Davenport Live, brought to you by the Ed Morse Automotive Group. Sierra Vista and Cochise County is now backed by Morse. Have a great day, everyone. Thank you to all those who have served our country, all those who are currently serving our country. We're grateful for each and every one of you. On behalf of the son of a retired Army Lieutenant Colonel, I love you, and I'm grateful for everyone who serves our country in whatever capacity that is. Have a great day, everybody. And thank you, and God bless the USS Arizona. Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you. No, it's perfect. Great information.
Remember.
So, yeah.
Are you a son?
Yeah.
Thanks, Jeff.
Yeah.